Before we go any further, if you care about growing stronger plants, better harvests, and soil that improves every single season, make sure you subscribe to the Evergreen Garden channel and drop a comment below with the biggest soil problem you're dealing with right now. This channel exists for serious gardeners who want results, not shortcuts, and today we're tackling one of the most damaging myths in gardening, the idea of dead soil. If you've ever been told your soil is finished, exhausted, or beyond saving, stay with me, because that belief is not only wrong, it's costing you time, money, and yields. Why the idea of dead soil refuses to die in gardening circles. Soil gets labeled dead when plants struggle, when crops stay stunted, or when the ground looks hard, pale, or lifeless. Many gardeners assume this means the soil itself has lost its ability to grow anything. In reality, soil almost never becomes truly dead. What happens instead is that soil biology goes dormant or out of balance. The microbes, fungi, and beneficial organisms that feed plants slow down because they are missing food, moisture, air, or protection. The soil is not broken, it's hungry and stressed. Once you understand this, soil revival stops being mysterious and starts becoming predictable. What healthy soil actually does for your plants every day. Healthy soil is not about texture alone or how dark it looks. It's a living system that converts organic matter into plant-available nutrients on demand. Bacteria release nitrogen, fungi unlock phosphorus, and organic acids free up trace minerals like iron and zinc. When this system is working, plants grow steadily without constant fertilizer inputs. When it slows down, plants show deficiencies even when nutrients are technically present. Soil revival is about reactivating this system, not replacing it. Why instant soil revival is possible without digging everything out. The fastest way to revive soil is to feed the biology already there instead of trying to sterilize and rebuild from scratch. Microbes multiply quickly when conditions are right. Given moisture, carbon, and mild warmth, bacterial populations can double in hours. Fungal networks rebound in days. This is why visible improvement can happen within 2 to 3 weeks when the right inputs are applied consistently. The role of organic matter and why quality matters more than sheer quantity. You see, organic matter isn't just about dumping compost onto the soil. It's actually the primary energy source for soil life. Now, fresh inputs like compost, aged manure, leaf mold, and mulched crop residues, they all behave a bit differently. For a fast revival, your compost should be mature, crumbly, and have that lovely earthy smell. A practical ratio that works well, really, is applying compost at a thickness of about 2 to 3 centimeters across the soil surface. This gives enough carbon and nutrients without smothering air exchange. And if you're using aged manure, it's wise to mix 1 part manure with 3 parts compost before application. This way you prevent nitrogen burn and imbalance. Let's talk about how moisture management can bring soil back to life faster than any fertilizer. Dry soil, well, it completely shuts biology down. On the other hand, overwatered soil suffocates it. The goal here is steady moisture, something akin to a wrung-out sponge. Once you've applied organic matter, water deeply so that moisture reaches at least 15 to 20 centimeters below the surface. Then, let the top few centimeters dry slightly before watering again. This wet-dry rhythm, it's brilliant, as it pulls oxygen into the soil and stimulates microbial activity. Many gardeners are often shocked at how plants respond once watering becomes intentional rather than reactive. Now, why does disturbing soil slow revival instead of helping it? Well, heavy digging, rototilling, and constant turning, they break fungal networks and expose microbes to UV light and drying. For instant revival, disturbance should be kept to a minimum. If the soil is compacted, use a garden fork or broad fork to gently loosen it without flipping layers. Push the fork in, rock it slightly, and then pull it out. This opens air channels while keeping biological zones intact. Do this once and then focus on surface feeding rather than repeated cultivation. So, how do simple microbial teas accelerate results when soil is struggling? Well, when soil has been neglected or heavily treated with chemicals, introducing microbes can really speed up recovery. A simple compost tea can be made by mixing 1 part finished compost with 5 parts non-chlorinated water. You'll want to aerate it by stirring vigorously every few hours, or even by bubbling air through it for, say, 12 to 24 hours. Then just apply this directly to the soil at a rate of 1 litre per square metre. Now, this isn't a fertilizer, it's actually an inoculation that jumpstarts biological activity. So, let's look at a real-world example of reviving exhausted garden beds. Imagine a vegetable bed that, well, has produced poorly for several seasons. You might notice the leaves yellow early, growth stalls and pests seem to increase. But instead of ripping it all out, here's what you do. Apply about 3 centimeters of compost, water deeply, then loosen any compacted spots with a fork, and mulch with straw or dried grass at a thickness of 5 to 7 centimeters. Within about 2 weeks, you'll see the soil darken, earthworms start to return, and new growth becomes noticeably stronger. By the next planting cycle, yields often increase by 30 to 50%, and that's all without adding any synthetic fertilizer. Now, let's talk about why mulch is absolutely non-negotiable for long-term soil health. Bare soil honestly just bleeds moisture, overheats and starves those vital microbes. Mulch acts as a sort of armor. It moderates temperature, feeds fungi as it breaks down, and prevents nutrient loss. Organic mulches like straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips should always sit on top, never mixed in deeply. Keeping a consistent mulch layer turns soil revival from just a temporary fix into a permanent upgrade. So, how do you know your soil is truly revived? Well, healthy soil smells sweet and earthy, not sour or dusty. It forms loose aggregates that crumble easily in your hands. Water actually infiltrates instead of just pooling on the surface. Plants show steady growth with deep green leaves and, fewer pest problems. These are biological signals, not just cosmetic ones, and they really tell you the system is working again. If this guide has helped you rethink soil and given you some practical tools you can actually use, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden for more serious, no-nonsense gardening content. Share this with another gardener who's been told their soil is dead, and do drop a comment below about what you're growing next. Healthy soil changes everything, and, honestly, once you learn how to revive it, you never go back.